Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another video on the SDS Game channel. Guys, it's not really a video. We are including our third episode of the Life Lab with SDS, and of course, the man himself finally is back. Yogi in the house. Yes, sir. I know y'all been missing him, and I'm so glad to have him back on the podcast and back on the channel. A lot of banger videos coming this summer, so make sure to subscribe, like, and share to the channel. This will be on multiple platforms, so make sure to check those out in the descriptions and whenever you can. So, guys, we are coming off of one of the biggest events in sports, the NBA Finals, and the Golden State Warriors, along with their Finals MVP Stephen Curry, have just won the coveted award. Yogi, us seeing Game 6 last night, watching this entire series through for all 6 games. Your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think the Celtics they did have an amazing run through the playoffs, and they earned their spot to be in the finals. But I was actually cheering for the Warriors because I'm a Lakers fan and I don't like the Celtics. So
yeah, reasonable.
And Stephen Curry is big crazy, and he deserves it.
Absolutely,
He
absolutely.
deserves it.
I think this, him receiving the Finals MVP award, the Bill Russell Trophy, will get a lot of people thinking, where does he place in a lot of people's lists of the top 10? So me personally, my top 10 goes as Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird as my top 5. From the 6 to 8, really no specific order. It's really Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Shaq. Maybe in that order specifically. I think Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Shaq would be my order. At 9, I have to give it to Bill Russell. Although he did play quite a while back, he did win 11 rings. And my 10th spot before this finals, I think, was probably Wilt Chamberlain, just for the dominance that he displayed during his era and the crazy stat lines that we hear of him. But I feel like now, with just this dominance, the way that Curry has just changed the game and revolutionized basketball, it might have to go to him. I feel like that 10th spot might have to go to him. And I hear a lot of people saying,
I still have him maybe number 15. He still has he's like 34 years old. He has like maybe 4 or 5 more years in there, maybe.
Right. So you would say that he's not quite cracked your top 10 yet.
Yeah, but he's definitely cracking the top 15.
And possibly your top 10. Just it's arguable.
Maybe even top 5 if he wins like 2 or 3 more.
Absolutely. That's something I think he can definitely achieve. Still has a few more good years in him, I believe. But yeah, this is an amazing championship for him to win. Equals his championships with LeBron James, which is something interesting. But yeah, overall, just an amazing series played by Steph Curry. But enough about Curry himself. Let's talk about the Warriors team as a whole. Andrew Wiggins. So that guy, and I know on the stat, we didn't really expect him to be too much the series coming into it. And a lot of people labeled him as, a draft bust, right? He was the number 1 pick. And a lot of people, next Kobe Bryant, all that stuff. He truly played like it this series, I feel like, more than Jason Tatum did. And a lot of people were saying he would be kind of like the Kobe Bryant. But he just impeccably defended Jason Tatum, which was the Boston Celtics' obviously best player. He was just shooting efficiently from the field. He had some great stats, great points to put up with, the transition wise, and he was just the overall big core of that Warriors team, especially in Game 5. I think he showed out a lot. Yogi, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins, he definitely played his heart out. Those games, being at the Celtics arena for 3 games, they still played amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like he got his first ring, Clay got another ring, Curry got another ring. All these young players like Jordan Poole and James Wiseman, they deserve it.
Yeah, speaking of those young players, I feel like an underrated aspect of the Warriors is their young talent. I mean, you look at this team, you have Jordan Poole, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, obviously, and Kevon Looney. I think he can probably progress into being a good player. So when you look at this team, they do still have like a lot of young talent to look forward to in the future as, the prime years of Curry, Clay, and Draymond go away. So that's something to look at positive as for Warriors fans on myself. So that'll be really entertaining to see and how they develop in the upcoming years. And hopefully they'll have a productive draft and possibly a good offseason as well. I think that'll be key, if the Warriors want to keep on building on this dynasty and for the future. Well, the Golden State Warriors obviously played an amazing series, but let's talk about their opponents, the Boston Celtics, who had me really wrapped in, starting with the first game and that comeback that they made to win that one in the Chase Center. Yogi, what really stood out for you for the Celtics? What are your thoughts?
Um, Al Horford did like this whole, not even just the series, this whole playoffs.
Mm.
He just like stepped up, made like the shooting center they needed, and I think the best, maybe like one of the Celtics key player of the series was probably Jalen Brown.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He dropped 34 points in the final game.
Right, correct.
And
That's correct. Yeah.
he just like went crazy. He tried till the end, tried to beat the Warriors, but it just he can't do everything by himself.
No, I feel you. Yeah, no, I think if the Boston Celtics had won, it would definitely be Jalen Brown who would be receiving that Finals MVP, which is kind of weird to say when you have Jason Tatum and the form that he'd been in on that team. But something I like to point out for the Boston Celtics is the run to the finals. I mean, obviously, first round they completely just swept the Nets and KD and all, which was a surprise to everyone. But just they asserted huge dominance there against Brooklyn. Then next you have to play Giannis Antetokounmpo and the reigning champions in the Bucks. Obviously, they have Chris Middleton, who was huge big support option for Giannis. But to win that in 7 games, edge them out was huge. And then I feel like an underrated series, obviously against the Miami Heat. All the way going to 7 games once again, and then just having to face that fire in Jimmy Butler in Miami, and they pulled it out again. So props to the Boston Celtics. They had an amazing run to the finals as the number 2 seed. But yeah, once like Yogi said, Jalen Brown, amazing player. Al Horford, he is a much he's veteran of the team. He's one of the older players, and much respect to Al Horford. I like him a lot, especially since he's a UF alumni. But just man, like they put too much on him. Guarding if he cannot be the one guarding Steph Curry, and he was the one who was showing up in the clutch time the most, I think, out of everyone. And here's an interesting stat I have for you. Jason Tatum has averaged 4 shots in the fourth quarter. Your best player, arguably, is averaging 4 shots in crunch time. I mean, personally, your thoughts on that? Like, as a basketball fan, and dudes, like, what do you think?
I mean, like Jason Tatum, he's like the leader of the Celtics through the regular season. He's probably definitely the best player. The main reason they probably got earned this playoff spot, and like I would say like the captain of the team.
Absolutely.
And then he can't just like in the biggest game of the whole season, Game 6, if you go it's either Game 7 or go home. He chokes. So
Yeah.
Only getting 13 points.
It's frustrating.
In 40 minutes, just 13 points.
Exactly. When you're receiving that much amount of time and the whole offense is supposed to revolve around you, that's frustrating. And a lot of times I saw in possessions, he would not be, demanding with the ball, trying to make cuts, trying to, get open for himself, which I saw a lot of from Jalen Brown, of course. Yeah, he just did not show up at all in big moments. He was repping Kobe Bryant, obviously, rest in peace, Mamba, throughout the entire series and throughout the entire, I believe, playoffs as well. I just never saw any of that Mamba mentality, and it's kind of sad to see when you're repping such a huge legend and performing like that.
Also, I'd say Marcus Smart, like the defensive player of the year, like he amazing defender, very underrated player. But I mean, like Curry he couldn't do like Marcus Smart. I think he did a pretty bad job guarding Curry.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's Stephen Curry,
yeah.
so I mean I can't blame him, but still, like if you get the defensive player of the year.
Exactly. Well, any Celtics fans listening to this, keep your heads up high because you still have a huge future, right? You have Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart, but you guys, that's a huge core three that you need. Then obviously Robert Williams is a very improving big man. If it's just some myself, it was a very strong defensive core. Daniel Thies, Peyton Pritchard, let's see, then Derek White as well. He showed up big in game 1, but kind of just disappeared for the rest of the series, especially last night. Grant Williams. So overall, a strong team, and I feel like maybe in the offseason, getting more shooters, getting more of like a well-balanced team offensively will definitely help them propel into a team with a lot of depth. So Yogi, I have a very interesting stat. I probably haven't heard of it, but Jason Tatum shot 31.6% on 2-point shots, mid ranges, layups, dunks,
Oh,
whatever, which is the worst by any player in the finals in the past 60 years season. Man. That's crazy.
damn.
That's like the leader of this team. The person who's supposed to that Kobe was trying to pass the torch to, or that's what a lot of people thought. And you hear that kind of stat line, like Curry's 3-point percentage was better than that. It's frustrating. I can completely feel Celtics fans, the frustration they have with Tatum. I understand he's a young star; it's his first NBA Finals, but man, like I was expecting at least some kind of 40-point game, something where he would just go crazy, berserk, but you just didn't see that. And
Yeah, and Shice is a Warriors fan, so he's probably just he was really happy about the win.
absolutely, absolutely,
But he does kind of feel for the Celtics fans.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Uh, but Draymond Green also. That's another
Oh,
topic I'd like to discuss. Hey, started the season. Started not the season. The series off pretty shaky, I must say. He had the same amount of points as he did fouls. I mean, like that's a stat that you do not want as an NBA player. But Draymond Green, uh, he stepped up this game. He had nearly a triple double. I mean, that's what you need from big players. He had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. That's the kind of stat line that we need from. That's from a
And
player like Draymond Green.
and his shooting just like was. I mean, he with his 3-point shooting. I think he made like two, maybe three threes. I don't know.
Yeah,
But like from Draymond Green, man who is known for not shooting, known for having like a really bad 3-point percentage,
sure, right?
just quit this game.
Yeah, yeah,
So for all the Warriors players, Jordan
absolutely.
Poole,
Joe,
Curry,
yeah,
Wiggins, Clay, like all of these players, they just
right,
started clicking for him.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Jordan Poole also. He was clutch from downtown. He was hitting all his shots. Draymond Green even had a few good shots, and that I think shot at the end of the third quarter that really kind of pushed them to that 10-point lead going into the fourth. And he was playing great, well defensively. And this is the kind of Draymond. This is prime Draymond that we're trying to see. So very impressed by my man Draymond Green. And yeah, overall, just a very impressive series by the Golden State Warriors. Great season overall, and I had them from the start. I feel like the playoff Warriors are going to be that team. When I saw them first play against the Nuggets in the first few games, just absolute dominance. The way they moved the ball, the way they shot the ball, the way they coordinated with each other, it was just great.
And I think Jordan Poole, young star, amazing player. I think he when like Curry retires or if he gets like maybe traded, probably not. But when he gets retired, when he retired, when he retires, or like just like not the best player anymore, I think Jordan Poole can step up, take his Curry's position, and like he's kind of like kind of like a mini Curry. He can shoot. He's a kind of a leader. He can do playmaking. Like do he can if he like he can become like the next Stephen Curry.
Yeah, no, I completely see what you're trying to say. But yeah, well, that caps off the NBA season. It's quite the ride. This playoffs, a bit underwhelming, I would say, but still an enjoyable experience. The finals wasn't the best. I was kind of hoping it went to Game 7. That's just a pure basketball enjoyer. Obviously, I truly like the Warriors. Having experience. When I was younger, uh, I got to see the Oracle Arena and got to see kind of Warriors things. So I kind of grew up a bit on that, and just enjoyed their basketball and got to see their dominance. But yeah, great season capped off with a great finals performance by Steph Curry. Looking forward to the NBA draft. And a lot of sports coming up this summer, but Yogi, something I'd like to end this episode off with is your predictions for next year, your winner and your MVP, your finals MVP.
All right,
Let's
so
hear it.
I mean, I'm not. I'm kind of a LeBron bandwagon, so I mean, I think like maybe the Lakers. But if you want me to be serious,
Yeah.
actually, I think who's going to win next year? I think the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm,
I mean, this KD in the series in Celtics, he was really trash.
Right.
But
Nothing like
if he can
KD.
like step up his game
Mm.
and like maybe like Ben Simmons gets used to the team more,
Yeah.
Kyrie does Kyrie things, then I think they could probably win the ship.
Yeah.
The MVP next year. Okay. The MVP, I think it's gonna be Giannis Antetokounmpo
Interesting. That's
or Joel Embiid. One of those two.
that's valid. Me personally, I think I don't know if you're the news. The Dallas Mavericks got Christian Wood in exchange for Boban Marjanovic and a few more players. So Boban is out of Dallas, but
Oh,
he's going right.
God.
He's going right to Houston. So not that big of a, big of a ride there. But yeah, Christian Wood, I feel like could be a good asset. And this Dallas Mavericks team making all the way to the Western Conference Finals. We got Luka Doncic, obviously. Obviously, I feel like he needs maybe that kind of superstar support because when your second options like Jalen Brunson or Dorian Finney-Smith, no offense to those two, they both had great playoffs. But yeah, it's gonna be something for the Mavericks to have to look into. So I feel like could be my team from the West next year, and for the East, if Miami can make a big summer move, I feel like it could be a very very easily be a Dallas Miami.
I have a really hot take.
That's it.
I think one player that's going to be in the MVP race next year
That's it.
is going to be LaMelo Ball.
Ooh.
I mean, like he makes the All-Star game. I know, like, I guess he's like kind of a substitute or something.
Right.
But he's really young. Rookie season.
I don't know about next year, but hey, I appreciate you for telling me that, but yeah, I think in a couple of years, who knows? I feel like he definitely has potential to. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think my MVP for next year is gonna be Joel Embiid. He was in the race this year. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is just his efficiency and his dominance to get the Nuggets even without Jamal Murray and KCP. Not sorry, KCP.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't Aaron Gordon. Sorry.
Paul
Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, my apologies there. But yeah, so I think that ability to get the Nuggets to that 6 seed, very impressive. Obviously, got pretty badly beat by the Warriors, but yeah, I think that was an impressive season by Nikola Jokic and a well-deserved MVP. But I have Joel Embiid next year. He had a great season. I feel like if the Sixers make the right moves and they get things working together, Tyrese Maxey and those things in Philly, I feel like that can be a seriously championship contending team. But that'll close things off. Yogi, any final words?
I just want to say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, Stephen Curry.
Yes,
Well deserved. Celtics, you guys are good, but you might aim for next year, I guess.
Yeah, huge future ahead of them.
Yeah, hopefully the Lakers will win. LeBron James is the best player of all time.
Okay. All right, buddy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for helping us, through our entire YouTube journey. We're starting to make more podcasts, more challenges, more video game content. Whatever you guys like to see, just let us know in the comments below. And we want to do a lot more podcast videos talking about sports, life, and general topics. Get guests on the show. If you guys want to be a guest on the show, just let me know, and I will definitely reach out and look up to you. Of course, my boy Jade. Obviously, he's been pretty inactive, but still part of the channel. Still our boy, and maybe we'll get him on a few episodes if y'all would like to see it. So let me know what y'all like to see. Huge things coming up: soccer,
Maybe
cricket.
like if you want us to post like cricket, cricket content, maybe like
Soccer.
2K, FIFA.
2K, yeah, anything. So let us guys know. But that's it for our third episode of the Life Lab with SDS. It's your boy Shice.
It's your boy Yogi.
Peace out.